Daryl Hall, and I'm here with Howard to talk about our new Hall & Oates tour, holiday album, and also my new webcast called Live from Daryl's House that's coming out tomorrow, actually.
Well, Daryl Hall, look at you, man. You look good.
Well, thank you.
I like the beard.
Oh, you like the beard? You know, I'm up in the woods, man. So it's my woodsman's look.
And the shirt.
So we were all speculating. How come the other cat isn't here? I mean, I know you're the guy with the talent, and you wrote all the songs.
Well, no. I knew you were going to say that. The other guy with the talent and who wrote Man-Eater, Out of Touch, and She's Gone. Let's see, where is he? He's in the woods also in Colorado, though. So you know,
do you live in the woods?
Yeah, I live up in Dutchess County.
Oh, you do, but you're not close with. I mean, when I say Hall & Oates, we think of like two brothers who, went through all
that would be
together,
correct.
yeah.
Two brothers that live on opposite sides of the world.
But the fact of the matter is, you're not crazy about Oates personally, right? Is that true? Come on, be honest. I mean,
be honest? You want me to be honest?
Yeah, be honest.
Am I crazy about him? Well, he makes me crazy sometimes.
He makes you nuts.
But no, I like John, man. John and I have been friends since we're teenagers, man.
But you're not friends. I mean, you don't hang out together.
Well, we're more than friends. We're like brothers.
No, but wait a second. You do not.
Sometimes you're not friends with your brother.
Hall & Oates don't hang out together. Like, you guys don't go to a bar together. You don't go and play video games together. You don't.
I don't do any of that stuff alone.
Do you call each other on the phone?
Not very often.
Really? So when it comes time to tour, when it comes time to do a new album or something musical, you pick up the phone and you call them and say, okay, it's time, but it's not awkward that you don't speak to each other other than that?
No, because we see each other all the time. We're working all the time.
But you don't like him. Because if you liked him, you would hang out with him, wouldn't you?
If he lived close to me, I'd hang out with him.
What irritates you?
He used to. What irritates
me? Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Nothing irritates me because I'm so used to him.
Do you ever have a
I'm beyond irritation.
Is there ever a non-work conversation? Like, do you ever say, hey, how you doing?
How's your family?
Well, basically, I see his family all the time because we travel together. And
He's married?
Yeah, he has a wife and a really cool kid, Tanner, and we travel together. I mean, in fact, we seldom have musical conversations. How's that?
How old were you when you met your partner?
16.
16 years old. You were in bands. You were both musical guys. The way I heard it is you were playing somewhere. He was playing in the same place. There was some sort of fight broke out, and you guys met each other in an elevator.
Yeah, actually, we were 17.
Right.
Yeah, we had just started. We were just finishing high school and starting Temple University. And he had a band and I had a band, and that's how we met.
And you said, we'll be a twosome. Let's go out. Let's go to some coffee houses. Let's play some places together.
Actually, no. We were friends because we both liked Philly soul. We were both in soul bands,
right.
And we started sharing rooms together when we were in college, and we didn't work together until after we got out of school.
When you write, do you write together ever, or is it always separate?
Not so much anymore. We always did things separately. Our first thing was we said we're going to be two guys, we're going to share a stage. So from the very beginning, it was sort of two separate guys. But we write together occasionally, and we write separately a lot.
So you meet each other at 17. You say, let's form a band together. We'll call it Hall & Oates.
That was on the mailbox. So
was there ever a discussion that it would be Oates and Hall?
No, because my name was first on the mailbox.
I see. So it became Hall & Oates. That sounded good. It sounded good to you.
Yeah, it sounded good to me.
That's right. And there comes a time where you have your first hit record. Was this amazing to you? Did it look like for a while nothing was ever going to happen with this band? Did you ever think of leaving him?
It went up and down for a long time before.
How long was that time before you had a success?
We first started playing together in like 1971 or 2, and let's see. Then we put out She's Gone. We wrote and put out She's Gone, and it wasn't really a hit. But then a group called 𝗬𝗏 had a hit with it, and it was like a #1 R&B record. And then we had Sarah Smile. That was our first hit.
I didn't understand this about you. Sarah was a woman that you lived with for 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a serious relation. Never married her.
Not officially, no.
You lived together, and you reference Sarah in your music a lot.
No kidding. I wrote tons of songs about her, with her. She co-wrote Man-Eater and Out of Touch, and God, I can't even tell you how many songs.
So she co-wrote these songs. She still makes money from the Hall & Oates catalog.
Yeah, lots of money.
Yeah, and when you guys split up after 30 years, this had to be an emotional trauma. This is the woman you wrote Sarah Smile for.
How do you split up with that woman?
I know. It's not easy. In fact,
were you
You're asking me right now. That's 6 years ago, and I'm still splitting up, man.
Really? Huh?
She left you, or you left her?
It was mutual. It was
So that
just
means
one
you
of those
left
things. Yeah, well,
All right. Yeah. So was it that the temptation of the road? I mean, you are certainly a good-looking dude.
It wasn't the temptation of the road. We went way past that stuff.
Did you cheat on her on the road when you were the height of Hall & Oates, and you guys are going around and you're doing live performances and the women are throwing themselves at you? Is it almost impossible not to bang someone else?
Yeah, the word is yes.
Yeah. So you had your sex outside.
So you
of
guys
Absolutely.
worked through that, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early on, from the very beginning.
So what happened? Did Sarah just get older and you get I mean, listen, let's face it, you're around a lot of young, attractive women. There's no way you can remain interested.
It wasn't had nothing to do with older or any of that stuff. It had to do with just, hey, man.
Life changes.
Life changes. Life changes.
30 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
So where you used to write
time.
Sarah Smile, now when you sing the song, do you want to vomit? I mean, do you want to throw up and say...
I'm still singing it to her.
Do you still wonder why you were in love with her in the first place? Have you you haven't lost that love?
No,
and feeling?
I have no questions about why I was in love with her.
Has Sarah hooked up with another guy at this point?
You know what? I think so, but I'm not sure.
You don't know. You don't want to know. Do you speak to?
Oh no, I don't.
You
I
really
do
do
actually.
speak to her.
Well, we have our ups and downs, but right now I'm not really talking to her much. But we go between really friendly to not friendly at all.
Let me ask you something. Is there another woman in your life now?
What, are
Well-
you kidding? You probably didn't miss a day. Guy like this, rock star, give me a break.
I'm in. I just say I'm in transition right now.
You're in transition.
You have a girlfriend, don't you?
No, actually, I don't.
You don't?
I had one for 7 years, but
Is it hard to be alone?
I got used to it.
Do you live up in this isolated area by yourself?
I got my people. You know, I have a extended family. My sister and everybody lives near me. And
near you, but you live in the house by yourself.
Right now, yeah.
Like a farm kind of community.
Uh-huh.
And you sit there by yourself, and you don't get lonely.
Nope.
You're able to do it.
He's got mountains of books.
Do you kill animals and eat them? Do you do the whole thing?
Well, since I got Lyme's disease, I sort of stopped doing that, but I was a major hunter.
You had
Yeah?
Lyme's disease.
I have Lyme disease.
How did you get it?
Living in the country, the way everybody gets
You were
it.
out hunting and a tick
Well,
got
you
on
don't
you?
have to be hunting. You can walk in your front yard. You can be in a suburban neighborhood and get Lyme's disease. It's one of the biggest.
How bad
problems
is
in
it
the
to have
country.
Lyme's disease?
Bad. It's bad. Well, it can run the gamut of mildly debilitating to severely debilitating.
I worry about that where I am. There's
You
all
should.
these ticks and all that
You
kind
should
of
worry
stuff. I
about
do. I always check myself every
got
night.
to.
I look. But why didn't you move away from this area where there's so many ticks once you got this disease?
Well, because I like living in that part of the world. I like living in nature.
You used to go hunting, you used to do all that stuff, and now you're a little bit paranoid about doing that.
Well, I don't like to spend that much time in the deep woods anymore.
Because of the ticks.
Yeah.
These fucking ticks.
I know. It's
They
a pain in the
ruined
ass.
your woods experience.
They really did. You know, I used to like to. You know, I got a lot of land. I used to four-wheel around, take walks in the woods. Fuck that now. You know, you have.
What
to
do you do? You
just-
sit in the house and you're hiding from the ticks.
Well, I had to put up this deer fence at great expense, and you know, I got to check myself all the
The
time.
ticks won.
The ticks did win
did you
right now.
find the actual tick that landed on you?
No,
You
I
never
didn't.
did.
Never
you never
did.
saw. How were you
Is
diagnosed?
it still in there?
I assume you had sore throats. You had
Oh,
fevers.
I had all kinds of tremors and fevers, and they thought I had spinal meningitis and multiple sclerosis and all.
How
this
long
kind
ago
of
was this?
stuff. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm just getting over it now.
What they treat you with antibiotics?
Yeah, heavy antibiotics and herbal things.
Wow. And you now feel better.
Every once in a while I have a kind of a weird day, but yeah, 99.9% of the time I'm fine.
Are you able to exercise? Are you able to get back
yeah.
into a routine?
Yeah, all that. Yeah, that's all working.
He's so right. Daryl Hall is so right about these ticks.
Oh no!
Never mind the terrorists. War on ticks.
Well,
I'm not.
wouldn't you
That's
have to
no
get
shit.
rid of
I'm
the
telling you.
deer?
How can we get
Because
rid
You know,
of
it's the. First of all, kill all the fucking deer.
Really?
That's what I
War
said.
on
We'd have to
deer.
get rid of
War
the
on
deer.
Yeah.
Kill the fucking deer.
Does your penis get affected?
You wanna get-
Monhegan, let me tell you a story. Monhegan Island in Maine had a major tick problem, and what they did, it was very controversial among the citizens, you know, and they killed all the fucking deer, and
always
the
thought he was
Lyme's
a
disease went
decent
away.
guy.
It did, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
But I
The
was
fucking rats, man. You know, in the Middle Ages, would anybody said no? They're pretty, man. Those rats, so they carry bubonic plague.
Kill 'em.
Fuck them.
Right.
Fuck the ticks.
You know, you're making me think. You know,
But
I
wait a
love to
minute,
look at
Howard.
deer. I think they're beautiful and all that. And
They're fucking giant rats. 180-pound rats.
Wow.
This is the guy who wrote Sarah Smile?
Yeah. Gee, I thought you were a peacenik.
You didn't write anything about a deer.
I see you on the We Are the World video. Wasn't that you?
Thousands of
That's
ticks.
people, man. That's not fucking deer.
And if people
Thousands of
can,
ticks per deer, right?
Yeah, you know, every tick has like 2,000-3,000 ticks on it.
Every deer has.
Every deer, and they all have
two-
Lyme's disease.
Ay
They're
vey.
walking
Monsters.
plague things.
So let's get rid of them.
Yes,
you know,
I
this is what
agree.
I say about sharks, too. People talk about our oceans. People are afraid to surf. We love the ocean. Kill all the sharks, too. Right? Come on, let's go.
Well,
what are we sitting here for?
If
Either that
millions
or
of
kill
people
all the
got
surfers.
eaten by sharks, I'd agree. But millions of
Absolutely.
people are getting bit by ticks. So there you go.
All right, you're with me on the deer
I
thing.
didn't know
That's
we'd
good.
have
I'm
the
with you.
anti-deer movement.
Wow. So when we
Kill the
ask-
rabbits too. Fuck them too.
you're angry today.
Sure, I'm always angry.
Fucking rabbits and deer. So they've really so now you're feeling better though. That's
You think I'm joking, by the way?
Oh,
I'm
I
not
don't
joking.
think you're joking.
We get it.
brother, I'm right with you.
Okay.
I'll
listen
kill
here.
a couple of deer.
You know,
with
when I
this
was a kid,
afternoon.
I lived in the country, and it was an unusual experience to see a deer because the deer population wasn't allowed to grow because it
was controlled.
It was controlled.
Yeah.
And now they're everywhere. They're fucking people up. People crash into them with cars.
Right.
They're really a major menace.
That's what it was like with blacks in my neighborhood.
Hey,
No, I ain't going there, man.
Hey, what's with you, Artie? What's going on? We're having a perfectly reasonable conversation.
Artie wants to take it to another level.
Yeah,
No,
man,
I'm
it's
stating.
your problem.
Down to another
I'm
level.
against it. I'm stating a fact. It was terrible.
But you know what? You make a very good point about this. This Lyme disease is so debilitating. I knew a guy. Remember, we had a general manager who got
People
Rocky.
die from it, man.
People
He
die
had
from
the
it.
Rocky Mountain spotted fever.
Right.
didn't
That's
he?
only one of the many diseases you can get from ticks.
And you were lucky that you survived because what if they
Yes,
didn't
I was.
diagnose it?
I'm lucky I can work, first of all, because I didn't think I'd be able to work. And I'm lucky I survived because I know people that have been so sick that they thought they were going to die.
Were you in the hospital?
I was in the hospital. I was on intravenous stuff. The whole bit, man.
Wow.
I mean, it's nasty.
It sure
Yeah,
is.
it's bad.
It
All
sure
right,
is.
you know what? I hate deer now.
Me too.
There you go.
I used to love them.
We might ask you to cut some public service announcements about killing the deer because some people don't understand.
That's right.
Give me a machine gun, man.
You got it. So why are you not getting the respect from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I wanted to ask you that. I want to talk about that for a second.
Sure,
you
let's
have
talk
written.
about that.
How many hit songs have you written? I mean,
Oh God, I don't even fucking know.
how many albums have you sold?
Something like 60 million. I lost track. Something like that.
60 million albums is
Yeah.
an
What are
amazing
you
accomplishment.
supposed to do?
Why is it a?
What am I
Yes,
supposed to
Gary.
do?
I can give you a number: 37 top 40 hits, 8 number ones, and I don't know what the album sales are, but a lot of hits. How many?
I think it's something like 60
70 million records.
Well, I'll give you a hint here.
10 million off.
You recently sold off half of your catalog to a publishing company, right?
Yeah.
And that brought in an estimated $25 to $50 million to Hall & Oates.
Correct.
Wow. Well, you're not hurting for cash, are you?
Yeah, but what about the Hall of Fame? What is this disrespect?
You know, all these awards, whether the Grammys or Hall of Fames or whatever, they're all political. I mean, that's no big news, and that's. I mean, what else can I say about it? It's politics.
But when you say
It's
it's
politics.
Who did you
politics,
piss off?
It's the fucking voters. It's the people that are involved in voting. Okay, let me tell you what it is.
all right, who are the voters?
Kill the voters.
In the 70s and the 80s, the rock press and the rock, whatever you want to call it, the media, created a canon. They created what is hip, what is not hip, what is deserving of respect, and what is not.
Right.
And those things are if you tried to be Woody Guthrie or you tried to be Howlin' Wolf or whatever, you were cool.
Right.
And if you hung out with the Spinners and you hung out with Al Green, you were sort of suspect, especially if you were a white guy.
Right.
And nobody gave a shit about that. Me and John have always fallen between the cracks.
Well, you and John have
And in
always-
order to, let me finish, in order for them to justify themselves and what they wrote about, like that the Ramones were the greatest band in history and bullshit like that,
Right.
then they have to disrespect me in order to
Give that
justify their own shit.
Right. In other
So
words,
that's why I'm not in the Rock and Roll fucking Hall of Fame.
if you write pop songs, in other words, if you write songs that have tremendous appeal,
Popular appeal.
popular appeal,
And also, musical
R&B.
impact. Let's not forget that. It's not
I mean,
just
you're a
popular
real
appeal.
musician. I mean, you've written huge hit songs.
But
And-
Howard, the people he's talking about, they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I know.
Al Green and Howlin'
Well,
Wolf
there's
and
a
all
little bit of reverse racism going on.
They allow those guys in a little bit because they don't want to look like it's just whitey.
Well, they call me Blue-Eyed Soul. That's fucking insulting. First of all,
Why is that insulting?
because I'm a soul singer. That's like saying what, brown-eyed opera singer if
Right.
you're black.
Right.
Fuck that.
So, are you bitter about it?
Yeah,
I
I'm bitter
swear to
about
God,
that.
I never knew he was such an angry guy.
I love him.
I am bitter about it. I'm bitter about it.
But I don't blame you. In other words, I think it's funny in radio that I am not. There's something called the Radio Hall of Fame. It's a bullshit thing, and I don't really care about it. But how can you have a Radio Hall of Fame and not have me in it?
Not have you anywhere
They
near
don't
it.
even mention my name. Who's bigger than me? Let's kill some deer.
Basically nobody. Yeah, kill some.
Who are the fucking voters?
All I know is when you said you just got $25 to $50 million, T-Bone's eyes were almost rolled back into his head.
You could keep the Hall of Fame. The Spinners ain't got that.
That's right. What are you doing with all this money that you're getting?
Wasted on building houses.
Are you building a lot of homes?
Yeah, I restore colonial houses.
That's your thing?
Yeah.
Well, who are you going to sell them to now?
Who am I going to sell them to? Yeah, I have to figure out who I'm. Yeah, I'm in the midst of finishing one big one right now.
Yeah.
There'll be foreigners.
Yeah,
There'll be somebody to buy that, that's for sure.
people that like colonial houses.
So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Grammys have ignored you as well.
That's right.
That's crazy. I
It's
didn't
all
know they
part of the
never-
same package of
Why
prejudice.
is everyone against you?
I told you why. Because it justifies their past.
But do you think
You're
things
depressing
have
me.
changed to a certain extent with the validation of Justin Timberlake? And
Of course. No,
Eminem
we're talking
and-
about the past. We're talking
Right.
about actually our generation, right? Of rock writers. The new generation,
yeah.
they respect the shit out of Hall & Oates.
There's something
and, all
weird
the new
going on.
bands love us.
But Hall &
so
Oates-
we've transcended the generational thing.
But Hall & Oates never was the type of band that's got up on stage and did dances to their songs and all that. You
That
guys were
wasn't the
serious
point.
musicians. Well, I want to ask you a question. You guys were serious musicians. Nowadays, you mentioned Justin Timberlake. It seems like Justin Timberlake's got to get up on stage and dance and jump through hoops. It's almost like a carnival.
I think the video is what caused that to happen.
Videos ruin music?
Video ruin music.
Why?
Because people, if it's a fight between the eye and the ear, the eye always wins.
Right. So the eye became more important than the ear. You have to be good looking there. You have to wear the right clothes.
Yeah.
You have to have the whole image and all of that. And you have to be able to dance.
Yeah, basically.
Is it sick in you? Is the music industry dead?
Yes.
Is it because of the economics of it that people aren't buying CDs and records
It's
anymore?
because the record companies shot themselves in the foot. It's because they ate themselves.
Where did they go wrong? How could they have predicted that the technology would change and people wouldn't buy CDs?
I don't think it was just the technology.
They went wrong in so many ways.
Well, how many-
They
give
backed
me-
the wrong horses in a lot of ways. They ruined their own music. They backed video. It was bean counters over art. When John and I started out, we were Atlantic Records. They said, okay, go make a record. And by the way, here's 𝗧𝗵𝗲 to help you. That doesn't happen anymore. It's like you do what we tell you to do, and if you don't do it, or if we get tired of you, then you're gone.
There's no artistic freedom, is what you're saying.
None.
Really?
Not in major labels.
This is very depressing.
It is, but if you're in Blue Note Records or Rounder Records, or do what I did early on and form your own record company, then you have freedom.
I was going to say, do you like this movement now where like bands like Radiohead are putting out their own album?
Well, I don't like what Radiohead did because they devalued their own music. But I like the idea. I mean, I'm doing this thing live from Daryl's house. I'm starting tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, we should mention this now.
Yeah. And it's one of the first, and it's certainly the first of its kind of internet concerts.
What is live from Daryl'sHouse.com?
It's a monthly live concert. It's actually not live. I've already done the concert, but it's going to be debuted tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and then shown subsequently, in part and in full, anytime you want to download it.
So when you say you live in this house by yourself now, you're telling me you haven't gotten laid in a couple of months?
What do you think? I don't have visitors?
People come and visit you and they bang you and then you
Yeah,
don't.
I'm not the hermit of the woods,
Right.
I mean,
Where do you primarily meet women? Let's say a woman.
Are
is
you on
listening now.
Match.com?
Yeah. Well, how does a woman get to meet you? Does she go to your show? And,
like church, libraries.
What, the last woman you had sex with, where did you meet her? I mean,
where did I meet
women
her?
like to know. And what's your age range, by the way? What are you dating? How old's the broad you date?
I'm flexible.
Right.
I'm flexible.
Would you date a woman as old as 35?
Fuck yeah.
You would. You wouldn't
course.
go as old as 40, though.
Are you kidding me?
You've dated cougars?
Cougars?
Are you telling me you've dated older than 40? Get out of here.
I am no ageist, man.
What is the youngest you'll have sex with? Will you go below 18?
Oh.
No.
You'll go to 18, though, right? You'll go
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, you don't have that problem, huh?
I have no problem.
So the last woman you met, let's say there are women in my audience listening right now who want to meet a guy like you, successful, singer, I mean, good-looking dude. How does a woman go about it? Where did this woman meet you that you had sex with?
Yeah, it's hard actually to meet me because
you're up in this tick
well,
infested area.
I live in small towns. I travel all the time. I'm nowhere really. I'm everywhere and nowhere. And then when I'm on the road, which is a lot, it's hard to get to me, and not by my
Design.
Well, the last
Design,
lady who
exactly.
visited. Where'd you meet this lady, the last one you visited?
Probably backstage.
Backstage?
Yeah, somebody, like a meet and greet or something like
Right,
that.
and you said, hey, you're attractive. How you doing, honey? What's happening? Let's go have a bite to eat.
That's the short version.
And then you just say, I'm going to take you back to my tick-infested house, and let's go
There you
see
go.
if we can't...
Let the tick suck on your body, baby.
That's right, man. Me and the ticks are going to get a hold of you.
They need to do a meet and greet before the show. They need to buy a VIP package and do a meet and greet.
Oh.
So basically, it costs you $500 to meet me. I'm the biggest whore in the world, man.
I mean, it's impressive.
$500, man, no problem.
Go ahead.
It's available.
Now, back in the day, were you one of the bands that got like caught up in drugs and all that kind of stuff?
No.
You didn't. You didn't do any pot?
I got a weird nervous system. Pot, yeah, sure. I smoke a lot of pot. But I never really used, like, I didn't do a lot of cocaine or anything like that.
So you didn't get caught up in that whole thing?
No, not at all.
And you basically lived a pretty straight lifestyle, and you were all about the music. Sounds interesting.
Well, how
I wouldn't call it a straight lifestyle.
Well, let me ask you something. Talk about that. Straight. Didn't people for years think you guys were gay, like you were lovers?
Yeah, well, yeah, because like a lot of people in the early 70s, we were doing the whole glam rock thing. You know,
Right, with
did anybody
the
think
eyeshadow
Gene
and all
Simmons
that.
is gay? Jesus Christ,
Who knows?
Maybe he is. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that went down, and then we had some fag from Rolling Stone that.
Oh, jeez. How much more are we going to learn today?
That decided he was going to out us because he made his bones outing Elton John. So
Right.
he basically outed us when we weren't out. You know,
You've never had sex.
You weren't in.
and I used that word, by the way, in a very respectful way.
You and John never had sex together. You never participated.
We had sex together, but not with each other.
In the same room, you would have
Yeah.
sex with women.
Yeah, no problem.
Did you ever share a woman?
Maybe. I can't remember. To tell you
That's
the
a
truth.
once. Who
Yeah.
had the bigger penis? I mean, I imagine, you know.
Well, I haven't actually noticed.
You notice when you're in the same room with a guy and he's got a boner and you're both doing the same girl. You absolutely notice.
Well, we always
Come
say
on.
that John is German Shepherd balls with Chihuahua pants.
Ah, interesting. I'm going to have to analyze that.
You have video of you high-fiving Oates while you're double teaming a chick?
No, we didn't
So
go that far.
when a guy outs you, a journalist,
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you fight back or you just say, screw it? I mean, what do you do?
Well, it's kind of hard to fight back. I mean, that's the whole problem with has been or was a problem with me and the media. You can't fight the media.
You can't sue.
They always have the last word. What are you going to say?
You couldn't sue and say, hey, listen, you've disparaged me. You've said I'm gay. I'm a straight man.
Yeah, that sounds malicious to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to sue for. I don't know.
Yeah, it is, because you're almost then you're saying you don't like gay people.
Yeah,
almost.
exactly.
Right,
It's I mean, it's actually what they did to us is an insult to gay people. Really.
right.
That's
right.
the way I feel.
That's right.
I have one question, and every guy out there probably wants to know, how do you work through cheating on your wife?
What?
You know,
Oh,
he said they
you're back to
worked
that
through
thing
it.
again. No.
He
well,
cheated on the road, and
if
then
you're
he'd
with-
go home to Sarah.
So what? Sarah can handle it.
No, how did she handle
because she's
that?
an extraordinary person. That's how.
Did she give you license like you're single on the road?
It was
or?
nothing as simple as license, but people do this all the time, and not just with musicians and people on the road. I think that there's a pact with people that are together a long time, and they allow for each other's personalities to bear fruit.
Let me
So
interpret.
did
How's
she
that?
ever
No.
sleep outside of the relationship?
I never asked.
Oh.
What you do is, if you want to
Yeah.
have a woman, a good woman like Sarah, and you want to cheat, you write Sarah Smile for her, then she shuts up. That's all.
Actually,
In a way, it works. You know, it's so funny to see you dressed the way you are today and the way you look. I think it's a great look for you. It's very natural. And this is the way you're more comfortable.
well, this is the real me. Yeah.
When you had to do the glam thing, I mean, not that you had to.
That was a long time ago, man.
Because you're not really a pretty boy kind of type, but I always thought you were because you always dressed up.
I was
Now-
pretty when I was young, man.
But when you perform now, do you dress more like this?
Yeah,
More
this is
like
pretty
that?
much the way I dress.
And when you, how old were you when you started to realize, man, I can really sing. I like music.
0. My mom was a singer in a band and a vocal teacher and all that stuff. I mean, at 2, 3 years old, I was singing.
And when do you realize you want to play guitar and sing?
Well, guitar came late. I started piano when I was 5, but I didn't start guitar until I grew up.
And when you're a kid and you sing, is it embarrassing in a way? Do people make fun of you? Do the other boys say, what's with you going around singing? What are you, a fruit?
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
do. Right.
Especially when you're like 12. And I was a boy soprano,
I was gonna say,
and I was
did
in
you have a
7th grade,
falsetto? Yeah.
It's hard to be artistic, isn't it, as a young
well,
child?
I remember that, I had to sing. Actually, I sang on the Christmas album. I did Oh Holy Night.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a real boy soprano kind of song.
Right.
And I did it, and my teachers made me sing this in front of the whole school in 7th grade, and I'm singing the song, and afterward, the cafeteria was no fun, let me tell you.
Right, you seem like a guy who can kick ass. You look like a tough guy.
Yeah, you look like a tough guy.
Right.
I've been there.
Did you have to fight a lot as a kid because you sang?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You would get into fistfights?
Yeah. People, I was, besides singing, I was just an unusual person in my area.
Why do you think you were attracted to black musicians more than...
I grew up in a racially integrated place. You know,
Right.
you grow up around Philadelphia, especially in my day when I grew up. It's very integrated. You
So
know?
there was more Motown there than...
It was the sound of Philly. It was the neighborhood stuff, not Motown. It was beyond, you know, before.
But I'm saying you get
beyond
exposed to Motown and all that other stuff too.
Well,
and of course, the
like I said,
Philadelphia
before
stuff.
Motown.
Right.
I mean, I do, you know, street corner music and you know, doo-wop music, gospel music, soul music, church music, all that stuff is that's my baby food.
Well, you're a cool dude. T-Bone, you know I love you.
I love you, Howard.
Yeah. Did you ever actually beat up Oates? Did you ever have to kick his ass? I mean, did you ever have a fist
You know
fight with
something?
him?
I'd have a hard time. He was a wrestler. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. John could kick ass, man.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, mano a mano would be a tough fight.
He wrote that song, by the way.
Yes.
It would be an interesting fight. I got the reach, but he's got the grappling power.
Let's go to Sal. Sal, you're on the air in Lodi, New Jersey.
Hey now.
Hey now.
I'll tell you what, when I heard that Daryl was going to be on this morning, I really didn't think much of it, but boy, he turned out to be a real entertaining guest.
Yeah.
You didn't think much of me. Fuck you.
Yeah. The hell with him.
This guy's a deer.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, that's my new thing. Yeah.
Well, I guess
What,
you
you
won a
fucking
new
do?
fan just from this
Well, thank
interview.
you, sir.
That's good. All right, thank you. Tell you what, let me play a little bit of this
You
song.
know what? The one thing we haven't asked is where the music comes from. Like when you sit down to write a song, is it easy? Is it hard? Does it take you a long time?
Are you one of those guys who say it comes from God?
No.
You're not you came from you, right?
Yeah, came from straight from my life.
Was your father upset that you became a musician?
No, they're both musicians.
So they like it?
They push me, yeah.
And were they thrilled with your success? Did they get to see your success?
And still are, yeah.
They're still alive.
Yeah.
And you have
But-
a good relationship with
Yeah,
them.
absolutely.
Are you a craftsman with the music, or do
Yeah.
you work at it, or it's not streaming through you? It just doesn't come out.
Both.
It does?
I'm a spontaneous person, but then I've been doing it so long, I'm into the craft of it also. But you know, when I do a vocal, what you hear on the vocals is pretty much what I did first take and things like that. And
okay.
T-Bone's there all the time. He knows.
Right.
You know, especially the end of the song, all the ad libs and everything. That just comes out of my head.
And I want to thank you for coming in today.
Thanks
it was
for having
really
me,
great to have you here. Daryl Hall, everyone.
Daryl, what do you think now that you've met Howard and you've been in there, you mixed it up?
I love this, man. I get to say my shit, you know? This is fantastic.
It seems like you really wanted to understand what goes into writing a song and
Yeah.
your mindset and your upbringing and everything.
No, it was good. It was good. This was actually a really cool interview.
It's got to be different when you compare it to all the interviews you've done over the years. This has got to be one of the more unique.
Yeah, no pussyfooting.
No, definitely not. He went right for it with asking about Sarah. And
Sure.
What do you think she's gonna? How do you think she's gonna react to hearing? You know,
She'll have mixed reactions. But that's our relationship, mixed reactions.
got to keep it open and say what you really mean. But that was a really good interview.
Thank you.
And good luck with your holiday album and the holiday shows and everything.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Thank you. So a lot of white people think Barack Obama is a Muslim.
What is it, a secret? Like he's going to take over the country and then he'll reveal his religion?
Yes. Before I endorsed him, I asked him, "Are you a filthy Taliban?" and he said no, so I believe him.
That's a complete investigation.
Are you a filthy Taliban?
Well, who would answer yes to that question?
And he said no. His father was a Muslim.
Barack Obama. But he says to me in a meeting that he goes to a Christian church for 20 years and believes in the Almighty Jesus.
Well, that's going to be a problem, too, because his pastor has said some weird things in that Christian church. And they gave an award or something, or honored Louis Farrakhan.
That's why the Jewy Jews will only vote for Hillary Clinton.
No, the Jewy Jews have been very much behind Barack.
No, they do not trust Barack Obama.
Really?
That's right. No, but Barack Obama goes to a real church that really hates the Jews. That's a real church. Wouldn't you be pissed?
A real Christian.
That's a real Christian man.
Do you know that he did not grow up with his father? I don't know if you know that.
Yes, we went over that.
That's true of a lot of college.
Most black men's mothers and fathers don't live together. I know that. I'm a liberal. I know a lot of blacks.
What else is new?
I said join the club. My father used to bring home women whores at the dinner table.
Well, at least he stayed with the family.
He was always with the family when he wasn't with his whores.
He always fucked his whores at the dinner table.
Right in front of us kids.
That's why the family meal is so important.
And my brother JFK loved it.
Wanted to bring the same tradition to his home, I guess.
A black man a lot of times will impregnate a woman and leave their whores.
Well, this guy
we drown our whores.
This guy was from Kenya.
That's right.
And went back, I guess. He got homesick.
So a lot of people, but Barack Obama doesn't even know the words to the national anthem and doesn't salute the flag.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. It's true.
You saw him not salute the flag?
See, I think if we get a guy like this in the White House, the Taliban will leave us alone because he's one of theirs. I'm thinking he might be Taliban.
Well, I don't think that would be a good thing.
I'm Senator Ted Kennedy, and I'm for Barack Obama.
Do you know what the Taliban did to Afghanistan when they took over?
Do you want to say that again, please?
Do you know what the
ahead.
Taliban did to Afghanistan when they took over?
Yes.
They put in the blimpies.
They subjected the women to torture and rape.
Well, not only that, they used to have these beautiful...
Sounded like a night in my house.
Really? with your nephews.
It's Rape Torture Tuesday.
Those guys know how to party.
Allegedly.
I'm just kidding, of course. We never did that.
This is all alleged.
Everything's a lie. I'm not really Ted Kennedy.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
You were never at those parties.
I'm really Howard with a megaphone.
But no, the Taliban knocked down and destroyed every major statue and monument because you can't, honor anything but God.
Right. That's why if we elect Barack Obama, we'll take down all of the statues and even the eternal flame at my brother's grave.
We have to douse that.
We will douse it. That's it. That's what's going to happen.
Well, it will be a change, won't it, when he becomes president?
Well, you saw that picture of Barack Obama dressed up as a Taliban, didn't you?
Well, I thought that was like the funniest outfit I have seen in a long time.
It's very beautiful. It's considered beautiful in that part of the world.
Very colorful.
Big turban and big white robe.
I thought I was watching the remake of Lawrence of Arabia.
You know how I know that Barack Obama's not Taliban?
How?
He said to me, I pray to Jesus, not Allah. And I believe him. So that must be true.
That's a sign.
Yes.
You see, these churches cause nothing but trouble.
Yes.
We should stay out of them.
I do. They won't have me.
I've become a Scientologist now, strictly for the pussy.
Right. Well, anyway, I just thought I'd weigh in. And God knows I weigh a ton.
Haven't you slimmed down at all?
Yes. I'm telling you now, and heed my words. When Barack Obama becomes the President of the United States, which he will, with my endorsement, he will put a turban on Lincoln's head.
All of Mount Rushmore will be wearing turbans.
That's right. Wake up, Whitey. There'll be a turban on that man's head, Lincoln.
And everybody will have to observe Ramadan.
And Lincoln will love it.
Although I can think of several broads in Congress who could use a burqa.
How crazy is the Ramadan thing? You fast all day and eat all night?
We're going to put Hillary Clinton in America. That's why I like this guy. Who wants to look at her?
Oh, my God, yes.
Cover up those cankles.
Cankles and big eyes.
If his only...
out of her head. She's a two-burqa woman.
If his only stance was putting her in a burqa, I'd elect him.
I love hot chicks. I told him to embrace his Muslim background and tell all the guys to be putting all the broads in burqas. Paris Hilton.
You could have 7 wives.
No fat chicks.
Dead. Drowned.
Don't a lot of those Muslim guys have more than 1 wife?
That's right. You could have 7 wives, like me, Joni and Chachi and everyone else I was married to.
You were married to all of Happy Days.
That's right.
Remember Chachi Kennedy?
Look at his middle name, Hussein.
Pinky Duscadero Kennedy.
His middle name is Barack Saddam Hussein Obama. I like it. I'm a liberal.
Well, you know, everyone's saying, well, you know, Barack Obama's got this in the bag. He doesn't have anything in the bag. He doesn't have it, neither does Hillary.
The big test, the big contest is tomorrow.
Right. Don't forget, you know, Barack Obama didn't win California.
He didn't win any of the big states.
No.
That's what they say.
That's what they're saying. So, you know, he doesn't have the thing wrapped up.
They think that he might steal Texas from her, though. That's a big state.
I don't know.
Look at that. A black man, and you say steal.
Well.
Right.
The old-time stolen base king is a black guy. Look, I just found a random picture of a hot chick laying around here.
What, they just throw those around?
Look at Jillian Grace, man. That is, it's Jillian Grace. I guess the moment we were talking about her, she's a fucking 10.
Yeah, she sure is. And
wow.
They knocked her up.
Do we know any more details about that?
They set that trap with pussy. What is it, Tony? Go ahead. You're on the air in Orange, Connecticut.
Hey.
Hey.
I saw some really slim, hot black chick at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, the Hard Rock on Saturday night. And it was Robin backstage. You were unbelievable, Robin. I couldn't believe how hot you look.
How much weight? How much total weight have you lost now?
Oh, man.
What are you up to? How much weight?
I haven't lost any more weight.
No?
No.
How much weight did you lose?
Why do I have to say that?
Oh, come on, brag. How much weight did you lose?
No, that's not bragging when a woman has to lose a lot of weight.
Oh, come on. How much did you lose, honestly?
55 pounds.
Wow. That's like a bulldog.
That's a kid. That's a big kid. Pretty big kid.
55, huh? Are you done losing, or are you going to lose more?
No.
I want you to get really super thin.
I'm going for anorexic.
Good. I want to see you in a thong. I want to see you in a bikini on this show.
For a broad 55 pounds, that's an insane number.
I want to see you in a pose
I know. That's why I don't like to say it.
I want to see you like this.
There you go.
Like Jillian Grace.
There you go. That's the way you'll see me next.
All naked.
She's fucking hot, man.
Yeah, well, you wish you'd gotten her pregnant.
Part of me does.
You could have, Artie.
I think I was her first mark.
She was calling.
I want to see you Bangladesh skinny, they call it.
That's with a swollen belly.
Heroin chic.
Where did you see Robin?
At the Hard Rock Cafe. I print shirts for Joe Perry, and he was doing a show. He did one in Boston Friday, and then last night, or Saturday night at New York, he was playing with his son's band called Tab the Band, and he was getting a little head start. And it was
what were you doing there, Robin? How would you know about Joe Perry's son's show?
My friend Bernstein sort of put that whole thing together.
And he said, hey, come on down, Joe Perry's going to play?
Playing.
But without Steven Tyler?
Yeah, with his sons.
And his sons are good?
Adrian and Tony, yeah.
Do they sing?
Well, his son Adrian sings, yeah.
No kidding. Was it a good show?
To watch Joe Perry play close up like that, are you kidding?
Wow.
It was great.
Ralphie, you were my highlight of the night. I mean, I've been doing work for Joe for 15 years, and I was blown away. My wife didn't come with me, and she blew it because, I mean, we're huge fans.
She blew you?
So excited to see her.
Cool. You know, it's funny. I don't know how long ago Joe Perry and I were talking somewhere.
Yeah, here, I think.
Maybe. But then we spoke on the phone, I think. I have such a poor recollection.
Yeah, I think you actually had a conversation off the air.
And he was telling me he had this house in Vermont. I should come hang out with him there. And I was like, yeah, right. I mean, yeah, okay. And I was like,
I thought you were really considering it.
Well, I was, but I'm not going all the way to Vermont to hang out at Joe Perry's house. And what if I'm having a bad time?
Well, I thought you told him you liked Vermont.
I do. I love Vermont. I used to go to Vermont all the time, but, you know, I guess I don't like it that much.
Joe, I find that I like Vermont except for your house. Are they one of the... Is he like a Lennon-McCartney thing with him and Tyler? Like, they write the songs together?
Yeah, I think he does most of the music, and I think Stephen writes the words.
Wow, that's mega money. Think of the hits they've had just in the second part of their career. They've had 1 million fucking hits.
Yeah, like Joe comes up with a riff, and then Stephen goes somewhere and goes, love on an elevator, living it up, but I can't go down.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know.
And then he goes, he gets paid for that.
Like, I read in a book where Keith Richards would have to write the music, and then Jagger would write the words. Right. And you think about, like, so he thought of Sympathy for the Devil and musically, and then fucking Jagger put words to it. Wow.
Yeah,
that's just impressive.
That's how it works.
Creative.
That's called a writing team.
I know.
Love in an elevator.
To this riff, I want to say, ragdoll.
What do you want to...
You know, mostly I think Stephen goes, makes the nonsense words up first.
Can't you come up with something better?
He's always got that crazy nonsense stuff going on.
Yeah, it's like I'm giving you 50-50 here. How about a little...
Did you see Van Halen canceled their tour because Eddie's all whacked out of his fucking skull, according to the paper?
What, booze or something? Or...
Really? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I'm not there.
It's hard to tell what Eddie's doing, what's causing his problem.
That's a shame, because everybody I talked to who saw that show said, you've got to go see it. It's amazing.
I saw it. They were great.
Oh, that's right. You saw it in New York, right? Oh, God.
Van Halen reunion tour canceled. Van Halen tour has been reportedly canceled because you saw their show in New York?
Yeah.
When were they in New York?
They were, what month was that? November.
They were at the Garden or something, right?
I didn't realize they were at the Garden. Why was I not there? Was it during the week?
Maybe they were at the Garden during the week. I don't know.
That sucks.
Van Halen's tour has recently been canceled because frontman Eddie Van Halen is battling, quote, issues, it has been claimed. The group canceled 2 concerts in Virginia and Georgia late last month, but rescheduled the dates for mid-March. No reason was given for the postponements. However, Internet reports claim the remaining tour dates have now been pulled indefinitely. According to website TMZ.com, the cancellation has been blamed on guitarist Van Halen's poor performance after he turned up for several gigs apparently intoxicated.
Man.
Yeah, I heard, just scuttlebutt from the road that all of a sudden, the guitar work was getting a little sloppy and
poor David Lee Roth
just falling apart.
Man, he can't get it together. I mean, I guess if you go out on the road in that atmosphere again, he just probably wants to get loaded.
Well, isn't the road what makes you take drugs in the first place?
I don't know, but poor David Lee Roth needs the cash. He needs this fucking guy just getting out there and playing.
He needs the cash? He got, what, for $8 million from K-Rock?
Yeah, I don't think he needs cash. Plus, he was one of the highest paid paramedics in New York.
Now, someone told me that he needs it.
You mean even if he got all that money from K-Rock, he still needs money?
He has a life.
$8 million is nothing.
Oh, jeez.
Eddie Van Halen is a Muslim.
What? You're talking in your regular voice.
Eddie Van Halen is a Muslim.
If he was a Muslim, he wouldn't have these problems.
But I heard that's why he took his kid, Wolfgang, with him, because, I mean, I guess he's really talented, and two, if you're going to not booze, you could be with your kid.
Well, everybody thought, he's going to be on the straight and narrow because Wolfie's there. But apparently that doesn't keep you straight either.
Does Wolfie go to school? How old is that kid?
Wolfie apparently needs nothing but Eddie. He just
hangs out with Eddie.
Hangs out with his dad.
He learns from Eddie Van Halen. He's in the school of Van Halen. He's at the school of rock.
There you go. That is truly the School of Rock.
Right. I'm on Letterman this week. I heard there was a bunch of promos airing on CBS that I'm on Letterman this week.
Oh, is it a repeat?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you didn't tell us you had booked yourself again.
They're like us with Best Of. You remember I never used to tell anyone?
Tell.
I go, yeah, we got Aerosmith in this week. Meanwhile, it's an old interview. Well, I didn't understand this. Tim Sabian sent me this last night. 2 Sirius satellite radio spacecraft will launch on Proton Breeze M.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's all fucked up.
Doesn't even sound like English.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
We need the chick who invented it to tell us that shit.
Martine,
yeah.
International Launch Services. You're smart, Robin. You should be able to figure this out. I couldn't. I read it 4 times. International Launch Services, ILS, has nailed down a contract for the launch of 2 Sirius satellite radio satellites on their Proton Breeze M vehicle. Sirius expects to launch Sirius FM-6 under the contract announced Friday. Sirius FM-6 is currently under construction at Space Systems/Laurel, and is anticipated to be launched in the 4th quarter of 2010, 2 years from now. Sirius has not yet announced plans to utilize the second launch. The Proton Booster and the Breeze M upper stage are built by ILS Russian partner 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Space Center of Moscow.
It gets funnier as it goes along.
The Proton vehicle launches from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Is this a joke?
I know, it sounds like a Saturday Night Live bit.
We thank Sirius for selecting Proton and its long-term relationship with ILS. We launched Sirius' initial constellation of 3 satellites in 2000. Proton has the ideal performance for Sirius with both its heavy lift capability and its flexibility to carry spacecraft to various orbits. I have no fucking clue what we're up to.
What we're up to is there are private companies now that launch space, rockets into space to set up satellite transmissions. Satellites that transmit back to the United States. So obviously this company launches out of Kazakhstan, and part of the rocket's built in Russia, and it's the perfect vehicle to launch a satellite, a Sirius satellite system.
See, if we were still competing with XM, if the merger doesn't go through, we should put some, guns up on those satellites and blow up the competition.
The XM satellites?
Yeah, we could go to war with them.
Well, it sounds like the government's launching satellites, we're launching satellites, TV stations are launching satellites. There's going to be so much space junk up there.
Yeah, and then when they come down, they land on us.
Right, now we got to have the government shooting things down so they don't come and kill people.
Proton builder 𝗧𝗵𝗲 is one of the cornerstones of the Russian space industry. Wow. I don't know what any of that means.
It just means that there are private companies now in the space business.
Okay. And I guess we're getting new satellites, which means what?
We're sending up 2 more. They haven't figured out when they're going to use the second launch they've purchased.
What I did hear about launching a satellite is the cost is supposedly $200 million per satellite.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is not easy to get one up there.
But you make all that money back when,
When what?
When you get to merge.
When you sign Oprah?
Yeah, you get Oprah. What is Jim? Hi, Jim. What do you want to say in Scranton, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, good morning, Howard. How you doing?
Hey, brother.
Happy fucking Monday.
Happy
That sounded like a Riley Martin bit you just did there for a second.
The proton torpedoes.
𝗧𝗵𝗲.
The screed. Oh, speaking of that, Riley did stand-up over the weekend.
Oh, how did that go?
At Bob Levy's Comedy Club.
Yeah.
I got some tape of it. We can listen to it.
I would love to hear.
Yeah.
Can I ask my question real quick?
Yeah.
I wanted to request a Fred moment.
Okay.
Where's the music?
Oh, shit. You're busting my balls already, huh? All right.
That's all right.
All right. I'll do it.
Sorry, man.
He's a Fred, he's wonderful Fred. He's a Fred, he's wonderful Fred. He's a Fred, he's wonderful Fred.
All right. What's your question?
Very good. Fred, good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
do you feel like these two companies have to merge, or do you think that they could stay two separate entities and become, and stay successful in their own? Like DirecTV.
In other words, what does Fred think of the satellite merger?
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Fred. Now's your chance to respond.
And the future, should they not merge?
Right.
The future, should they not merge, would be very difficult indeed. I'm for the merger, if that answers your question.
There it is. Thank you, Fred.
Well, do you think both companies could succeed, or will one go under?
I do not know if both companies will succeed or not succeed.
We would succeed.
I do not think that they are in the business of going out of business.
We're still getting subscribers, aren't we? I mean,
oh, yeah.
Everybody's getting subscribers.
They just announced a big fourth quarter here at Sirius. Or whatever, first quarter, fourth quarter, I don't know which quarter.
Which quarter is it?
Some quarter. I don't, you know what, I don't know what anything's doing. All right, thank you, Fred, and thank you for the Fred question.
He wasted it.
Yeah, it was boring.
Fred hasn't thought about the merger.
We knew Fred was
No, I'm for the merger. I'm not trying to think of life
Fred, your
outside the
segment's
merger.
over.
I'm not done.
Hear the music?
When the music's done, then I'm done.
No, once the music comes on, you're
Bullshit.
done.
Who made that rule up?
Me.
I don't care.
Mike, you're on the air in Rockaway Beach.
Hey now, good morning, Howard.
Hello.
Hey, Howard, I've been watching Howard TV every morning. Why does Fred always raise his hand when he talks?
Because he thinks he's in school?
He hasn't figured out this is not school.
I'll tell you why, because there's... This is why I raised my hand, because jerks like this can't shut up for a second.
I know, they apparently don't hear us.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's what they do. Robin will be going, Artie will be going, you'll be going. There'll be a point that I wish to interject, and rather than have it be a cacophony of, like, 4 voices at once, I try to, like, raise my hand so I can get
you
in
already
there.
had your question of the day.
Sorry.
This is a second question.
But this is actually a better question.
By the way, I do appreciate Fred raising his hand. It gets so noisy in here sometimes. He's very polite, and then he's saying to me, I want to jump in, but...
I want to jump in, but I don't want to make a mess.
Right, and plus then I can announce that Fred is speaking.
There you go. Sounds much more important.
Right, thank you.
Fred needs to speak.
Yeah, Fred is raising his hand. There's something important.
The chairman recognizes the delegate from Kazakhstan.
All right, let's see here. Hate Man made a bunch of calls.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah, he's all... I don't know. This is really vicious stuff.
What the heck is wrong with him? What's wrong with the world, shall I say now?
All right, Hate Man left a bunch of voicemails for Black History Month.
Oh.
Then he got on you and Jim Florentine. Well, you tell me how many of these you want to hear, because there's a bunch of them. Like, the guy just...
He just went crazy.
Went berserk into the answering machine. Here is a very hateful, angry man talking about black people and black history.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, as Black History Month winds down, Hate Man is starting the ugliest nigger of the day contest. From now to the end of the month, I will name one ugly nigger each and every day. Today's nigger is Esther Roll, a.k.a. Florida from Good Times.
What is this guy, frozen in the 80s?
Yeah, I mean, Esther Roll is dead.
Yeah, Esther Roll.
There's a lot of ugly black people today.
Yeah, why do you have to pick on her?
She was one scary bitch. She looked like a piece of fucking coal just before it was ready to be put into the fucking furnace. What a black, scary bastard. Tune in tomorrow as I name the next fucking ugly monkey bastard of the day. Ta-ta now, and lick my asshole. And to all you monkeys out there, suck my ball bag dry.
All right.
If you're good-looking niggas. If not, you know where you go. You know right where you go. Noose goes over the fucking tree limb, and you have to get strung up. Hey, monkey bastards, take it easy
What a
now.
delightful man.
Ta-ta!
All right. Do you want more?
Sure.
All right. He's still on this theme where...
The ugly...
Yeah. Well, there's a million of them. You know, I had to, like, cut them down. I think this is where he actually picks the ugliest black person of the month.
Oh, the ball.
I think so. But the guy's references are mired in the 80s. I think his TV broke in the 80s.
You know what? I think he's a Nickelodeon fan.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the results are in for the ugliest nigger of the year contest. And all of this is in honor of Black History Month. The contestants were Esther Roll, a.k.a. Florida from Good Times, Jimmy J.J. Walker, also from Good Times.
Jimmy J.J. Walker, I mean, give that guy a break. I mean, he hasn't been around for 20 years.
Well, none of these people have.
Right.
Seal, who looks like a goddamn nuclear power plant exploded in his puss.
All right.
Aretha Franklin. And then last but not...
Yeah, coming at you, WNBC. A little bit of time for you.
All the nights are all the same. The party life is pretty tame. Living on a pile of cash ain't gonna get you to find a one-way track. Yeah. She stepped into the parlor. She's looking for her mama. Mama, I need someone to buckle my knees. I'm gonna...
Joe's son's good looking like him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? You want to fuck all those guys?
Oh, stop it. They're too young.
That's why she didn't get a hold of Jim this weekend.
How young are those boys?
I think Tony's 28.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian's probably a little older than him.
Tony, Adrian, and who's B? Tab. Tony.
B is the other kid in the band who's not one of Joe's sons.
Now I know why the name is Tab.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Maybe they like diet soda, though. Yeah.
So what do you think of the guitar playing?
It's good. I mean,
oh, God. Sorry to wake you.
You know why I couldn't go? You know why I couldn't pull? All right, Fred, easy.
Sorry.
You know why Fred? Fucking Fred waking up.
that was one of the best yawns. You're mad at me because you're tired.
This place is crazy.
Fred picking up on my yawn there. No, you know what it was? I was so pissed that I lost the chess game yesterday. That I was winning. I was laying in bed.
I'm really going to laugh.
I was laying in bed till 11 o'clock, mad at myself.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I take it very seriously. I felt like a fucking retard.
Stop playing that game.
I'm good. I said to Beth, I'm thinking about quitting.
Because this is ridiculous that you
really
can't
upset.
sleep.
Yeah, but
you
don't
got to
understand.
find another hobby.
I was winning, and I just lost stupidly. I made a dumb mistake.
And that's not your job.
Yeah, but...
That's what you do for fun.
Yeah, but that seems like my job. My job's fun. All right, what else, Robin?
So anyway, yeah, it was fun to watch Joe interacting with his sons on stage. And I was wondering, I wonder what that must be like. You know, your father's a rock and roll legend, and now you're having him play some of your songs. That must be pretty nice.
I think it's got to be pretty shitty, quite frankly.
Why?
Because their dad is Joe Perry, and you know what, the odds of them... You know, hey, they could break the odds like Jason Reitman, you know, with Ivan and all that, but it's kind of shitty when your dad's a superstar to try to pick his field.
True.
You know? I mean, Joe's a great guitar player, and the sons are going to be making music, and then if they fail at it, they're going to feel like douchebags, and I don't know. So it sounds like they're onto something good.
You think that this is a bad career move?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, I wouldn't want to be in the business my father is in. In fact, my father wouldn't let me. I asked if I could. I said to my dad, well, what about me working with you? And he goes, oh, no, I would never want that. Never. I go, well, he goes, recording's a very bad business. I go, bad business? We're doing all right. You got a car. You got a house.
Oh, my God.
That's why I don't install antennas. I took the easy way out.
I think my father thought I was a moron.
What did he tell you?
Well, he did call you that.
I know, and I just don't think he thought anything of me. I probably would have been good for his business.
I told you not to be stupid,
you probably had some ideas.
Yeah, but my father would always think my jobs. I'd be Fredo, you know what I mean? Like, my father would never take my ideas seriously. You know, it's like Stephen King's son writes horror books. Like, why would
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what? But they're actually pretty good.
Good.
But you would. But when I first told someone, they're like, "Oh, what's he doing that for?"
Right.
Yeah, I've never read.
It was you who said that.
I've never read Stephen King's son.
I think the kid found a couple old manuscripts the old man wrote in the attic.
But, you know, it's interesting when your father's, he's pretty much legendary in his field. And, you know, he's written some pretty amazing riffs. That's a hard act to follow. But apparently he respects their music because he's playing it. You know, that's what I'm saying. And he gave him the bus, you know, like he put them on a tour bus. They're now traveling around in support of their new album. So Good for them.
Right.
Would you be offended if Viagra came to you and said, we want you to be the face of Viagra in
How much are they paying
the United States? Like $2 million.
I wouldn't fucking mind. $2 million? Yeah, I'd be happy to say I use Viagra. I don't use it, but I'd be happy to do it for $2 million. Fuck yeah.
Would you have to write in, I have to say I don't use it? Or would you just go ahead and say?
I'd say I'd use it.
All right.
I'd lie.
Well, 𝗵𝗵𝗲 said he turned down the $2 million to become the British spokesperson
Hey, good for him.
for Viagra.
For $2 million, you could say I'm the head of the fucking Klan.
You would do that?
For $2
if
million.
the Klan is looking for a face,
For $2 million, I'd be the face of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Sieg Heil, motherfucker.
Oh, stop it.
Give me my $2 million.
You got a problem with that? You got a problem with that? You know where you can find me? By the fucking pool.
Aber wir werden auch die nicht vergessen, die den richtigen Weg einschlagen.
Yeah. I second that.
Boy, that Führer's got away with words.
Whatever he just said.
Last year, Simon says his agent rang up and said that they'd been offered an incredibly wonderful deal, $1 million deal, to be the face of Viagra.
Rang
Hey,
up.
now.
Can he fucking get our language right?
He said, sorry, but that has to be an effing insult.
Because he makes $20 million a year.
Right, he wants $20 million.
So there you go. He's not going to be any face of Viagra.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tell him to get a real job. He'll take that $2 million. These guys out there can't even afford health insurance for their families.
Why can't I be the face of Viagra?
Yeah, you look like the face of Viagra.
Yeah, I'm 40 and...
You're overweight.
I'm overweight.
You look like you need that Viagra.
Yeah, I'll say I use it.
You know what would be good for the face of Viagra? Kathleen Turner. I'm on Viagra.
I have to have an operation every year.
I haven't had sex in 2 years, but I'm ready when it does happen.
She's the face of whatever makes you lose your heart.
What else you got?
Oh, I'm so pleased with that joke I just made.
You like it?
I laughed at myself.
Oh, I haven't had sex, Larry, in 2 years.
Who knows?
Like saying words written by great writers.
They taste good.
Tennessee.
Oh. There's always a good writer has a rhythm and a selection of juxtapositions of consonants and vowel sounds or soft consonants, you know, that just are tasty. You know? I don't know how to explain.
Who's got bigger balls,
That's a
Larry?
man, baby.
Kathleen Turner.
Is that Larry King interviewing himself?
The words are tasty.
Vowels from the consonants.
The consonants are soft and you can taste them.
Tasty.
Put a little pepper on them.
Back with Kathleen Turner. You want a love life again?
Yes, I wouldn't mind one. My husband and I separated 2 years ago, and I guess the divorce became final in December. And
Mr. Magoo.
He left me for a woman.
He left me 2 years ago.
Yeah, the odd, well, maybe it's not odd, but we're terrific friends. You know, we have lunch together every week, and he sends me these very...
We get together once a week to scratch our balls.
We take a steam together. My nuts hang lower than his. I'm going to have a nut tuck.
You and your husband take a steam?
We take a schmitz, yeah.
Are you sad that you haven't had sex in 2 years?
Extremely so.
You're not going to cry, are you?
Supportive, you know, he's still my best fan.
Is he a good
kind
father?
of stuff. He's a great father. But
And so am I.
It's also been 2 years since I've had sex. And I'm getting to miss that.
You mean to say you couldn't have it without benefit of marriage sometime in the past 2 years?
I don't know.
If Larry can get sex,
Yeah, I was going to say, Larry, you're sitting there. Why don't you throw her a bang?
Yeah.
I'll throw you a bang.
I'll give it to you. Thank you.
And then I'll fuck you, Larry. Bend over.
You want to fuck Larry?
Of course I do. I haven't had in 2 years.
You're going to bend Larry over and fuck him?
Yes, and I can be the face of Viagra, too. My clit is a good 6 inches long.
Oh, my God. It probably is.
You got a big, thick clit?
I got a big, thick clit. And then balls like horse chestnuts.
Gross.
Is that right?
Oh, yes.
We mentioned this earlier. Sources are now saying that Van
like a
Halen...
Who has a hairier ass, you or Larry?
I think I might take the edge on that one.
Don't cry. Things aren't that bad.
Will somebody please bang Kathleen Turner?
JD will do it. He likes big asses.
Sources are saying that Van Halen, that tour, is falling apart. According to TMZ.com, the road trip has been canceled. Insiders claim Eddie Van Halen is the root of the problem and that he's having issues.
I'd fuck Eddie.
They kicked off their reunion tour back in September. The band's lineup this time around features original lead singer David Lee Roth, Alex Van Halen, and Eddie, but original bassist Michael Anthony was replaced with Eddie's 16-year-old son, Wolfgang.
Yeah, that ain't cool, man. Michael Anthony. He should have been part of that thing. I don't get that.
Van Halen postponed 2 shows last week without any reason being given. Reps for the group have yet to comment on the story. Van Halen is currently scheduled to be on the road through late April.
Well, if Eddie Van Halen's listening, Kathleen Turner will do him, right, Kathleen?
I'll fuck him and Wolfie.
Yeah, him and Wolfie.
Now, that's really wrong.
Wolfie got an education?
One in the pink, one in the stink.
Now, just imagine this.
I like his impression of Kathleen Turner.
I think you do.
I could listen to that all day. Yeah. You should fuck Sal, Kathleen.
I just might for, Tuesday, Super Tuesday.
How do you say your name? Kathleen, right?
Kathleen. Kathleen Turner.
Women are better liars, according to a new book.
No shit.
Women are tops when it comes to lying. The author is 𝗧𝗵𝗲 She's the author of Little White Lies, Deep Dark Secrets, The Truth About Why Women Lie, according to the New York Post. Barish says women lie both as a survival technique and to get what they want. She added that females tend to lie more cleverly and successfully than men. Basing her research on interviews with 500 women, she found that 75% lie about how much money they spend. More than 60% indicated to Barish that they have cheated on their husbands.
Are you a good liar?
Of course I did. I fooled my husband into thinking my penis was a vagina.
And 80% admitted to believing in beneficial lying.
All right.
So women like to lie, and they think it's good for them.
Yeah, they love it.
Meanwhile, a Food Network chef is in hot water for lying on his resume. According to the St. Peter's Times, the Food Network is looking for a new host for Dinner Impossible, amid questions about its founding host, Robert Irvine, and his credentials. The network issued a statement yesterday saying embellishments and inaccuracies have been found in Irvine's resume.
I'd fuck him, too.
In a previous story by the Times, Irvine admitted to misrepresenting his duties at the White House and his relationship with the British royal family.
Hey, everybody lies. I mean, I tell everybody I have 8 inches, but I only have 5.5.
Irvine reportedly issued a statement apologizing for exaggerating certain statements, and he added, quote, "I will work tirelessly to regain your trust." I hope he said it better than that.
Andrea, the reigning Miss Howard Stern for the last 8 years, is on the phone. Andrea.
Hey.
Hey.
I called because I can't seem to figure out what this lab test I'm supposed to go get is. And, you're the only genius I know. So I was
It takes a genius?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything about this, Andrea. I thought maybe you had a quick topic.
No, it's real quick. I'm getting my boobs redone tomorrow, and I have to get some kind of medical clearance, a CBC, a chemical profile, and a bleeding time.
Why don't you ask your doctor?
Well,
what's the question?
So crazy.
She's getting her breast implants done.
No. She's got to get this blood work. What's the question?
I was just wondering, like, what is a chemical profile?
They want to see what's in your blood. Just go. What you do is you give the piece of paper to the guy giving the blood test, and he knows what to do. You know? All right?
Okay.
That's how it works, honey. Why are you doing your breasts again? Didn't you just get them done?
Well, because I want silicone. It's more natural.
Yeah. Don't make them so big.
That would be more natural. Yeah.
Just trust me.
Don't make them the size of your head.
Well, they are going to be big, but trust me.
A CBC is a complete blood count. That's what it stands for, CBC, complete blood count. Your doctor wrote it out, and you give it to the guy, and he knows what to do.
I was a little worried because of all the medication I take. I'm so afraid they won't give me my boobs. No. I heard that if you take a sleeping pill like I do, it could be, like, very risky.
Yeah, well, don't take anything.
Yeah, and I would go real big with the boobs, Andrea, like triple M.
Yeah, I'm going to. I got my lips done last week. They look totally awesome.
Yeah.
What did you do to your lips?
I got them bigger than I've ever had them.
You're messing yourself up.
Yeah, and I mean, I would get the boobs, like, enormous, to where, like, you can't even see your face.
You think that's the good advice?
Yeah.
I'm going to get them a little bit bigger.
Oh, my God.
I tell you what, honey, you could use
Basketballs wish they were as big as your boobs.
Well, when I see you guys, we'll see if you notice the difference.
Well, we're going to take a look at them.
And stop drinking. It'll lead to another colored kid.
No, it won't. Hey, I said if you give Eric whiskey, he probably would show his penis.
All right. Hey, thanks, Andrea. Good luck with the breast implants. Bye-bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, too. Bye-bye. Someone told me she just turned, she's 25. She's depressed about getting old.
And so she's only 25 and she's had that much plastic surgery. Jeez.
Robin, what else is in the news?
There was also a story in the paper this weekend about a woman who wrote a memoir over in one of those European countries, and it eventually was translated into English here, where she talked about how she escaped from the Nazis during World War II. Her parents were both taken away to concentration camps, and she escaped from the Nazis and lived with wolves.
Wow. She lived with a pack of wolves.
Yeah, and she's been telling this story for years and finally wrote it into a memoir. Turns out it's all lies.
Oh, wow.
She's not even Jewish.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How long has this book been out?
It's been out for quite some time.
And, like, was she celebrated for this?
And she's been, going on lecture tours, and, she's been living off of this for years. She even got in a fight with her co-author about, proceeds from the book, like she really stood behind this story, and now she's had to admit that there's not an ounce of truth to it.
I mean, everybody knows wolves hate Jews. Who's going to believe that? I never would have followed that. Wow, that's some story.
2 stories ago, women are great liars, right? See?
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Well, that is weird, man. Do you think you can get away with that? Robin, what else is in the news?
Well, she's got away with it for years, and now she's had to admit that it's her reality. It isn't in a real story. She just, started working on it, I guess, as a kid, and it became real to her. Rosie O'Donnell, she said because she was so ostracized, she felt like a Jew. So that's how she's...
Rosie O'Donnell said that?
No, the woman who wrote that book.
Okay.
Has Rosie O'Donnell appointed herself the person who tells you when it's time to get out of show business?
Why? What did she say?
Well, she had that whole thing going with Barbara Walters where she said Barbara's lost it and it's time for her to step down. Now she's sort of saying the same thing about Larry King.
She might be right there.
She posted a poll on her website over the weekend asking readers to vote on whether King should retire soon. The poll appears under the picture of King and a headline that reads, "It's getting tough to watch."
Yeah, I don't watch Larry King, but I'm always asleep. I like Larry King, though. I watch him sometimes.
I do when I have the chance. The strange poll popped up the day after Fran Drescher, who is reportedly working on a new TV show with Rosie, appeared on the Larry King Live program as part of a political panel. Drescher was on to support Hillary Clinton, and I guess Rosie felt that Larry was making fun of Fran. So she came out with this poll and saying that it's time for him to retire.
That's a thought. All right, we got to take a quick break. Robin will wrap. What is it, J.D.? You got the tape?
Well, I was going to pull it, but Fran Drescher, like, all of a sudden started pleading in Spanish for people to vote for Hillary. I haven't pulled it yet. But she started pleading for people to vote in Spanish, and Larry didn't know what the hell was going on. So.
Well, he should know. She's trying to get the Hispanic vote.
We speak English here. Hombre. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
Stern Show.
Here's Fran Drescher pissing off Larry King.
Right. Larry?
Yes, Fran.
Larry. La niñera gustó mucho Hillary Clinton. Es la solución de los problemas de emigración y para evitar el abuso de las mujeres.
What's happening?
I'm speaking to the Latino community.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Puede. Say it with me. All right.
Welcome back to Telemundo.
Seems like he's all that upset.
No, he didn't seem to make fun of her either.
She said that Barack Obama was a Muslim and that he is a Taliban.
Sure.
That's what she said in Spanish. You don't understand Spanish. He's all pissed off because people are going around saying he's Muslim. All right, what else?
Who's all pissed off?
Barack Obama.
Oh.
Just to making, trying to paint him like he's a terrorist or something. Just because his middle name is Saddam Hussein.
Well, not quite Saddam.
All right. Robin, what else is in the news?
Prince Harry was at war.
Yeah.
And he was over there fighting with his squadron, or whatever they call it.
In Afghanistan.
Originally, it had been announced before he left that he was going, and then they said, well, he's not going to go because it would be dangerous for him now that everybody knows he's coming there. So I guess they waited a little while till the heat was off, and they sent his group over there anyway. And he was supposed to serve a certain amount of time. The British press agreed not to disclose that he was there. However, it was leaked in the Australian press and eventually picked up by Matt Drudge, and then they brought him home. So Prince Harry is now back from the war, but he's not happy about it.
I believe the royal family released that information.
What? That he was over there?
Yeah. That way they make him a hero, and then he doesn't have to stay over there anymore. They're worried about him.
Here's Prince Harry talking about his disappointment, 1-2.
All right.
Angry, probably the wrong word to use, but no, I'm slightly disappointed. I thought I could see it through to the end and come back.
Boy, if I was the Prince of England, you wouldn't catch me anywhere near Afghanistan. I'd be the biggest pussy coward, man. I could be like, man, I got the fucking greatest life. I can fuck all kinds of whores. I can eat the best meals. I don't have to work a day in my life, man. I'm not going to fucking Afghanistan.
And he's third in line to the throne of England.
Be like, you know what? My mom was killed by the paparazzi. I've served enough. I've had enough.
We've already lost a family member
That's
to
right.
war.
With sort of our guys and the colonel himself.
Whatever.
And then I think he said something else over there.
No.
Do I have another one?
He said nothing else.
Nothing else?
He was pretty tight-lipped.
Was silent after that?
Eric the Midget said more in his press conference.
I thought I had another clip over there from him, but I guess maybe not.
Larry, mi sabios de pesca en la cocina.
Because I was listening to him, and I was like, you know what? There's something sexy about his mush-mouth British accent.
Kind of same sexiness J.D. has.
I don't think so.
That limey cocksucker can rot in hell for all I care. You get the same vibe.
Not
Anything
quite.
else, Robin, or is that what's happening?
I don't have that other clip over there, because that's the one I pulled to show how sexy he was.
Oh, I might have it.
Let me hear.
I love you, pussy.
Wow, that's a little direct, Robin. I don't know you.
Love that clit, come on.
Usually I'm a little more subtle. But anyway, so Prince Harry back at home, and they are hailing him as a hero. He says he's no hero, but he's happy to be back to have a bath. That's what he says in the last clip, that the thing he missed most was bathing.
What dude takes a bath?
I will have a bath.
I never saw a dude take a bath.
You've never seen a dude take a bath?
Not in my lifetime, no.
It's a chick in the tub.
I actually saw you in a bathtub.
When we were building our house, I wouldn't even put a bathtub in my bathroom.
In your master bedroom?
No. No, I just have a shower. I won't take a... I'm not going to take a bath. Beth has a bath.
What about Beth?
Beth has a separate bathroom. We did his and her.
Oh, okay.
So
You're getting very Victorian.
Yeah. I don't want to shit where I eat, so to speak.
There was a crazy thing that happened in a Las Vegas motel room. They found the deadly drug or chemical ricin. And a man is now in the hospital in critical condition. He went to the hospital, and they said his condition has continued to worsen, and now he's in a coma and can't possibly participate in the investigation. But when his brother or a relative was going through the room, they found this weird powder, and they turned it in, and it turned out to be ricin.
What's he doing with that?
They don't know because they can't talk to him. They did say they don't think this was a terrorist situation, but I don't know how they can say that without talking to the man. It was planted, or it was lying in a hotel room.
Isn't it weird?
Who knows how many people could have gone in there and
Isn't it weird how
become exposed to it?
Isn't it weird how things are named the wrong thing? Like, to me, Viagra should have been named Ryzen because you get an erection. And
this should be called Viagra.
Right.
Well, they're still doing an investigation trying to figure out where this stuff came from, who made it, and why it was there.
All right.
But kind of scary for the people of Las Vegas. They get so many visitors there. It'd be a great place, I suppose, for a terrorist to strike. We, of course, have an election going on, and now that Sal knows that tomorrow is not the national election, we can talk about this more openly. Are you still feeling it for Hillary Clinton?
I believe Hillary Clinton will be the nominee.
How can you say that?
I'm saying it. I'm telling you. She's going to pull it out. People are going to wise up.
She would have to win, and win decisively, I think.
Even 60 Minutes last night I'm watching. They have
Texas
Hillary
and Ohio.
They say to Hillary Clinton, how do you feel about the fact that we're losing jobs to China?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they can charge less for labor? And how would you feel about a tariff? If we put tariff on goods from China. She goes, you know what? That might be a very reasonable thing. We've had that in the past in this country. And if we had it again, it makes kind of sense. And then they go to Barack Obama. They go, how do you feel? And he goes, we must be ready to compete in today's world. We cannot be afraid of competition. They go, well, how do you feel about tariffs? And he never answered. He just kept saying...
Well, he's saying he doesn't believe in tariffs.
No,
he believes in the global economy.
No, he didn't say that.
He says we have to compete in today's world.
Yeah, but then he kind of didn't even say... you have to hear the tape.
Well, I know I saw something they played over the weekend. It was one of the debates. First of all, Hillary started complaining that in the last several debates, she's gotten the first question.
She should like that.
No, not necessarily, because what happened was they asked her a question about the new guy who was going to be the head of Russia.
Yeah.
And she flubbed the name a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But she did have a decent answer to the question. And then they threw it over to Barack Obama, and you know what his answer was?
What?
I believe that Hillary has spoken truthfully about the gentleman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right.
So he just piggybacks right onto her answer.
Right. Yeah, you'd like to hear what he'd come up with. She's right. She's got a point.
If he had gotten that question first, he might have been caught, like a fish out of water.
Mm-hmm.
But she's always answering first. So here's Senator Hillary Clinton saying she's ready to answer that red phone in the White House.
It matters who's in the White House when those calls come at 3 a.m.
I can't answer the phone. I'm changing my tampon.
You never know what crisis is going to happen. And we need a president and a commander-in-chief ready to answer that phone.
And I won't waste my time praying 6 times a day with a little blanket and facing the sun. And I'm not Taliban.
Here's Clinton saying she's on the comeback trail.
And I'm Ted. I'm Ted Kennedy, and I support Barack Obama. That's who I support.
Well, you know, Hillary has her own set of Kennedys.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The new Jackie O is Michelle Obama.
She has Kathleen Kennedy, something other.
Right, Kathleen, she's barely a Kennedy.
We kicked her out.
I said to Barack Obama when I met him, your wife is stunning. She looks like Jackie O. In fact, I'm going to call her Blackie O.
Oh.
Instead of Jackie O.
She's Blackie O?
Blackie O.
Is that like Blackula?
No, because she's black and she's like Jackie. It rhymes, Blackie O.
Well, that, you know, Dracula, Blackula.
We'll call her Jackie Ho.
Watch it.
Very beautiful, I said to him. And I said, what about the fact that you were raised a Muslim? And he said he loves Jesus Christ, not Allah. And that was good enough for me.
Well, here's Barack Obama saying what makes Hillary think she's ready to be president. 1-4.
We're still waiting to hear Senator Clinton tell us.
I'm coming from his speech. Oh.
What precise foreign policy experience that she is claiming that makes her prepared to make that, to answer that phone call at 3 in the morning.
Ever say it?
So they are really going at it, these two.
Whenever I get a call at 3 in the morning, it's usually from my drunken nephews. Just kidding. They're good boys.
Senator Clinton was also on Saturday Night Live this past weekend. Here's a little clip.
Shame on her.
1-6. Oh, the campaign is going very well. Very, very well. Why? What have you heard? Nothing. Oh.
That's not funny. Barack Obama's funnier. Not to mention better.
They do still say he has run a masterful campaign and that he has raised a lot more money and has a lot more money to fight with than she has.
Yeah, who would ever think that, like, Hillary Clinton would have less money than Barack Obama?
Yeah, she was always raising money, and she was a good fundraiser. And all of a sudden, he's outstripping her amazingly.
He's taking more. He's outstripping her. No, but really, I think it has a lot to do with Blackie O.
Really?
Yes.
She's bringing in the money, Blackie O?
Very powerful. She's going to run for president one day. You'll see.
She's a good liar.
Michelle Obama.
Well, quite frankly, the experience that Hillary is claiming is that of a wife who was beside the president when the phone rang.
That's right. So why can't Michelle Obama do that?
I do find that odd. I mean, if somebody was running the company here, we wouldn't expect that his wife could just step in and do the same job, would we?
Well, in baseball that happens. And they run the team. And I'm telling you, on inaugural day, I will be standing on a stage with our next president, Barack Saddam Hussein Obama.
John Kerry says that Barack Obama's foreign policy could be the thing that changes the world. He says he could be the key to a breakthrough in foreign diplomacy. Senator John Kerry told CNN's Late Edition that to follow the Bush foreign policy would be to follow failure.
Kerry's just trying to get on my bandwagon.
Well,
I endorsed Barack Obama first.
I think Kerry endorsed him first.
No, you don't know.
Okay.
I did it privately.
He said, and quote, I think America should be comfortable with a president who is willing to engage with other countries.
I'm not afraid to engage with women.
I'll tell you that.
No matter how it turns out. Let's see now. Some celebrity endorsements came out this weekend as well. Russell Simmons.
I told Barack Obama not to smile so much. His gum show.
Oh,
That's
really?
not good. No. My brother never did that.
I didn't know his gum show.
Yes. You're too gummy. I said, you're too gummy. Don't smile.
Okay, celebrity endorsements. Jack Nicholson endorsed.
Hillary Clinton.
That's right.
He's on Barack's shit list.
He'll be drummed out of show business once Barack becomes president.
The Joker won't think it's so funny when Barack Obama deports him.
And Russell Simmons endorsed
Barack Obama.
That's right.
Because he knows.
By the way, Barack is running from the endorsement of Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
I told him. White people don't like him. He sets off the schwuggy meter.
Yeah. He couldn't run fast enough for that.
That's right.
He should drive him off a bridge.
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
If he wants to win.
A big gang summit is going on in Los Angeles starting today.
No, let me get out of Los Angeles. Jesus,
all right.
It's scary.
Anything else, Rob?
A bunch of officials from around the world tackling the problem of transnational gangs. Law enforcement agencies from Europe, Canada, Mexico, and Central America will attend the conference that is expected to have two big topics. One is the continuing growth of the deadly street gang known as MS-13 and the ongoing violence of the 18th Street Gang in Los Angeles.
I mean, the cops know there's going to be a convention of all the gangs and they're not going to...
No. It's law enforcement officials trying to figure out how to stem the growth of gangs.
I don't know, man. That's a tough call.
I don't know how they get started. They start with young kids. Can't parents just stop gangs?
I tried to start a gang when I was younger. No one would join.
I don't understand how parents can't keep their kids out of these gangs.
I had a gang called the Badasses. I was the only one in it, yeah.
Really?
I think it was you and J.D.
Yeah, I was trying to get J.D.
J.D.'s now in the gang alone. 2 doctors investigated over Heath Ledger's drug overdose have been cleared by U.S. officials. Medics in Los Angeles and Houston, Texas were probed over the prescription painkillers that contributed to his death, but I guess they are not going to be charged with anything. They said Ellen was tearful once again on her show. She was all broken up over the death of a young man on February 12th. He was shot in the head at his school in Oxnard, California, reportedly for being homosexual.
That's really sad, but isn't she doing a comedy show? What the fuck is she crying?
Well, she's now like,
Well, every once in a while you have to bring up the social significance of things.
She ran out of comedy. Yeah. She made jokes about it. Anything else, Robin, or is that, can we call it a day?
That was not, she did not make jokes about that.
No, of course not.
That Oscar winner, the French woman, Marianne Cotillard, she believes that 9/11 was a conspiracy.
If you don't lick my pussy, you're out of my fucking bed.
There's another guy who was spouting that. I think Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson?
Yeah, I was reading an interview with him because he turned 75 years old. And
Willie gets good weed.
I think he was saying something about 9/11. There's no way he believes those buildings would explode that way. They wouldn't.
And when did he become an architect?
I don't know, but he said it's impossible for a building to, like, sort of collapse on itself if it was hit by a plane, or, he's into that weird theory where... Right,
that somebody rigged the building with explosives and meant for it to come down.
Yeah.
You know what was a combination of sad and funny? George Carlin's latest live HBO special was live Saturday night. He's 70, and he looks like an old, frail old man.
Yeah, I was watching it, too.
I'll tell you, the first few minutes were classic him mad being, I thought, very funny.
He's funny.
Yeah,
I cannot watch stand-up comedy that much anymore, It's like...
You're jaded.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way.
I can watch good stand-up.
Yeah. George Carlin was pretty good, though, I got to say.
He started out by saying, fuck Lance Armstrong and fuck Tiger Woods.
It seems edgy.
Yeah.
Well, Tiger Woods could be the first man ever to win a Grand Slam in the same calendar year. He's doing so well so far this year. I think he's won 4 tournaments in a row.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Carlin's point was that the country tells people who to like, it seems. And it's true, you know.
So he doesn't like Tiger Woods?
No,
or Lance Armstrong.
And he said Dr. Phil. He's like, I'll pick who I want to like on my own. The fucking media tells you who to like nowadays. And if you think about it, it would, you know, we mentioned...
Well, who does he like?
He didn't mention anybody he likes.
Right, he doesn't like anybody we would know.
Right.
Well, like, you know, Jon Stewart's an example of that, where it's just there's never anything negative. It's true. Some people are out to get or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that was his theory. The Hells Angels apparently at one point were thinking of killing Mick Jagger.
Oh.
You know, after that death at Altamont where
I don't believe that.
The Hells Angels were hired as security and then they wound up stabbing a member of the audience. Well, after that, Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones never used the Hells Angels for security again. And supposedly they decided that they would then just kill Mick. This was according to the FBI.
Yeah.
That Sonny Barger guy did seem very upset with Mick Jagger when he talked about him. But
yeah. I don't know anything about it.
Police in Paris are investigating the apparent drowning of a well-known model, 𝗂𝗃. She was 47 years old.
I was in Paris.
Her body was found in the River Seine last week. She had been missing since January. Authorities said Friday that there was no indication that she had suffered any violence. It may have accidentally fallen into the river as she was going home to her houseboat. She, after she left modeling, Howard, she became a proponent of ending female circumcisions. She, too, had been a victim of that at the age of 9 when her mother told her she was going to the movies.
Awful.
Yeah, so she campaigned very hard against that one. Was one of the first African models to gain prominence in the world of high fashion.
Right.
And finally, the #1 movie at the box office this past weekend was Semi-Pro, the Will Ferrell movie, making $15 million at the box office.
All right, that sounds good.
And that's what's
all right, Ron.
Hey, Howard,
yes,
I'm sorry, man. I promised Greg Fitzsimmons that I would say that this Wednesday night at Town Hall in New York City, I'm part of a fundraiser, the Jerry Red Wilson Foundation. It's a really good charity, and it'll be myself, Dave Attell, Louis C.K., Nick DiPaolo, Jim Norton, hosted by Greg Fitzsimmons. Town Hall Wednesday night. Come on out and check it out. It'll be a fun show.
You know, thank you, Artie. Sounds like a good cause.
Check out King Norris March 8th, Saturday night. King Norris at Tiki Stadium, Keansburg, New Jersey. For more info, go to Tiki Stadium's MySpace page. See The Killers of Comedy March 7th and 8th at the Clubhouse Theater in Tempe, Arizona, March 21st and 22nd, at the Republic Nightclub in Toronto, Canada, and March 29th at the Starland Ballroom in Sayreville, New Jersey. For more info, go to RevBobLevy.com. Check out Levy's Comedy Club at the Ramada Inn, Levittown, Pennsylvania. Call 215-945-LEVY for upcoming shows or go to RevBobLevy.com. To book Benji and his naked lesbian bachelor party strippers for all your party needs, go to dialadancer.com.
All right. Just over here sleeping, that's all. Just taking a nap. Catching some Z's, whatever.
Did you sleep better last night?
Yeah, I slept better. Good morning, everybody. Well, what happened was I fell asleep last night. We're way heavy into that show In Treatment. We just got in bed and we're watching every episode. And
they had a couple of episodes on last night, right?
Well, something's wrong with, like, I get HBO on demand, and then, like, sometimes you can't even access the shows. It says you have to try later. I guess they do maintenance or something.
And sometimes it's your cable box. You need to reboot your cable box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I don't even know how to do that. I just give up. I was in the middle of In Treatment because you can get them all on demand. And I'm in week 5.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm really Really into it.
See, I'm getting all messed up because I haven't watched some of the first shows.
No.
I'm watching some of the later shows.
No. You got to go back and start from the beginning.
I know, and I'm afraid now that I've blown it by looking at some things that...
Shouldn't have done that.
I know.
Why don't you ever talk to me before you watch TV? You know I'm a good co-pilot.
You can steer me right.
Yeah. You know I know what I'm doing. Hey, Lenny, let's take a couple of phone calls. Say good morning to everybody. Good morning to Lenny in Hong Kong. That's right. Sirius Satellite Radio worldwide. Lenny, go ahead.
Hey, Howard. How you doing? Good morning.
Right. Good morning.
Yeah, last night, I hate to tell you this, but I watched Are You Smarter Than a 5-Year-Old here in Hong Kong, China. And, you know...
Are you smarter than a 5th grader, you mean?
A 5th grader. What did I say?
5-year-old.
A 5th grader, yeah. So you're losing worldwide. It's horrible. Plus... It's so embarrassing because the guy on the show, they asked him 2 times 5. The guy couldn't answer it. And here I'm in China negotiating with Chinese people. They think we're fucking idiots.
I mean, in other words, it's a Chinese version of Are You Smarter Than a 5th grader?
No,
it's the American version.
It's the American version.
Oh, the American version. Well, I got to tell you something, Lenny. You've definitely hit into something, if I can be truthful. That is a show. You know, I was just thinking about this now that you mention it. Fox Development used to call me all the time, because that's on the Fox network, that show, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And they would call me and say, you know, you do so many wild things on the radio. Can any of it be converted to television? And they would pick and choose through my bits. And I remember having several meetings with Stephen Chow at the time. This is years ago. He's not there anymore. And then, you know, I would get calls from, you know, Telepictures, this one, that one. Gee, you did something on the radio today. It was really good. It would make a great TV show. Do you want to go into development on that? And I would turn all these offers down because I figured, well, if I ever want to turn these things into TV shows, I'll do them on my own. They're certainly an implied copyright. I've done them on television and radio already.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, when a show like Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader comes out, and I know that whoever is the so-called, wish I had the name of the executive on it, obviously listened to my show and fucking ripped it off. I mean, we have that exact show multiple times done. And, you know, every time that show comes on Fox, I look away from the screen, even if I see a commercial for it, because I get so violently angry and I want to throw up, because somewhere there's some guy sitting there every day making tons of money going, he probably doesn't even think about the fact that he ripped me off anymore. He's probably bought into that he developed it himself.
Oh, he's walking around saying, I'm the guy.
Yeah, and he's sitting there with a big fucking smile like that. What's that, Cheshire Cat?
Cheshire Cat.
Cheshire Cat, with the big fucking whiskers. And, you know, it's just, I can deal with the fact that I'm not getting paid for it, I guess. I don't care so much about that, but I hate when I don't get the credit for something. And some scumbag is walking around building his whole life off of that show. Fuck him.
Well, here's the thing. This is Star World, and it's owned by Rupert Murdoch.
These guys just steal. They're like oil barons. They're thieves. That show is a rip-off. I should sue, but I don't know. I guess I should. I mean, I got the proof. I got tapes that predate that show of us having 5th graders in and playing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader?
Yeah, but could you imagine this? I got to meet with Chinese people tomorrow.
And every day, all right, we heard that. Big deal. The Chinese people aren't all... Yeah, okay. They all think you're an idiot because some guy can't go 2 times 5. They assume that every American is a moron.
Exactly.
All right, Lenny. All right, thank you.
Bye.
Look at Lenny. Cocksucker, I ought to bring that up. Oh, it gets me crazy when non-creative types get credit for all the creative shit I do. It drives me nuts. Yeah, there's the answer, okay? Yeah, it eats me up inside.
You had to tell him it was in China.
Yeah, he did that. And then he goes, and I feel bad because I'm going to have a meeting with the Chinese, and they saw that we don't have 2 times 5. Shut up, asshole.
You dummy.
Dummy. You know, I mean...
So you won't get such a good deal.
You don't know 2 times 5. I see it on TV.
Yeah. You know what? You probably don't know 2 times 5 either. Whoever that guy was. David,
Lenny.
you're on. Lenny. David, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard.
Hey.
What you should do is put all the proof on a website and hook it into a search engine. So when these people are out searching the Internet,
oh, please.
What are you talking about? That'll be more people ripping off the idea.
The only thing I would do is go to a court of law and prove it there. That's where you prove it. And those fuckers hate when they got to give up money. Trust me. They hate that more than anything. Oh, look at us. We're creative geniuses.
But they don't have to give you all the money. You should get all the money and then decide how much you want to pay them.
Yeah. I mean, it's my show. Oh, well, what did they do? They hired a host, some fucking whack job. What the hell's that guy's name?
Foxworthy.
Jeff
Foxworthy, no talent motherfucker. Another no talent sitting there. At least ask me to host the show, cocksuckers.
You just get a likable guy like that, mainstream, forget it.
Yeah, great.
Well, why ask for money? Just ask for credit.
I don't want credit. I want every fucking dime, because that's the only thing that teaches those guys a lesson.
Or say you're going to give it to charity or the...
Fuck charity. I'm the charity. Just give it to charity. I'm sick of charity. I give to plenty to charity. I want the fucking money. I'll do what I want with it. Give to charity. Sick of fucking charity.
Money's only good.
All the money this fucking government collects from us as taxpayers, they can fucking give all the charity in the world. They should be able to feed the world. They're busy with that dumb war in Iraq. What a waste of money that Bush got us into. Oh, fuckhead.
Yeah, but he's making money.
Someone ought to sue that motherfucker. Here's another guy needs to be sued. You put us in a war? You asshole.
An unwinnable and untenable situation?
Nobody even knows what to do with that war.
We don't even know why we need to do this. Why do we need this?
Hey, you got to sue. What?
I'm sorry. Can I make a comment about the merger?
Okay.
I think all of America should be concerned more about being able to buy the congressman with payola and lobbyists than the merger itself. I mean,
of course. There's a bigger issue. Forget the merger. Right? You're absolutely right, David. Thank you very much. All right. He's another genius.
It's been true forever, sir. I mean, unfortunately, this just shows a spotlight on it.
Stating the obvious.
You know, we have a man boobs contest coming up for guys with big man boobs. And I got to tell you, if you do have huge man boobs and you'd like a chance to win $5 grand, send in a topless picture of yourself to contest@howardstern.com. The entries have to be in by March 7th. Oh, March 7th. What's today's date?
It's March 4th.
All right, so you don't have much time. You got to do. We just got a couple of new entries, and we're just going to show you some pictures. I'll show you why this is going to be great television on Howard TV.
I was going to say, you better have some pretty big boobs if you're going to enter this contest from what I've seen so far.
Okay, number one.
Oh, my God.
All right, you ready for number two? This is just today. You know, this is just a couple from today. You saw the other ones.
Yeah.
All right. And the Man Boobs contest, by the way, is sponsored by GoldenCasino.net. Have a blast playing blackjack, roulette, craps, and much more. Absolutely free.
These people must not move ever.
No. Check out GoldenCasino.net today. All right, you ready? Here's another dude. Actually, his titties are big, but not as big as that last guy.
No, but, you know, he's sporting a nice set.
God, this show is going to be great on Fox when Larry the Cable Guy hosts it.
Yeah, it'll be better.
World's biggest man.
All right, right now, this guy looks like a chick. I mean, this is a chick laying on her back.
Oh, that's not a woman?
No.
Oh, my God. He's got 4 tits.
He's got a second set. He's got a double-decker.
Anyway, someone's going to win the $5 grand, and I got news for you. It's going to be a tough judging guy.
What will these guys do with $5 grand?
Yeah.
You know what's sad about those pictures? Honestly, it's not even a joke anymore. It really makes me feel fantastic about it.
Yeah, you don't have the big boobs.
This is a great contest for you.
So Artie's heavy, but he doesn't have the big boobs.
It's like these guys are out of control.
He's got some muscle up there. Mike, you're on the air in Dexter, Maine.
Somebody ought to get a hold of them.
Yeah, Mike. Hey,
I had a couple things. Steve-O got arrested. Go figure.
Yeah, I'm following that. I'll do a report on that if you'd like. Would you like to hear about that?
Yeah.
What did he do?
This fucking guy, he is unbelievable. Steve-O, you know, from Jackass MTV, comes in and does the show all the time. Mike, you got anything to add? Because your phone's very noisy.
Oh, sorry. I was taking a drink. No, I actually want to talk about Oprah, the big fat phony, if I have a second after this. She's always making money off her charity work and whatnot.
Yeah, Oprah had the #1 ratings Sunday night with her Big Give. That was her show, Big Give, where you get money from Oprah and then you give away the money.
Right. You have to get rid of it.
Did you watch any of that, Howard?
I absolutely did not.
I didn't want to. It was on, and I watched some of it. If you're going to fucking help somebody, go help somebody. Don't have a show where you make money helping people.
Well, her argument would be, if she puts that on TV, maybe more people will be inspired to give.
No, they won't.
Write a book.
I know, I'm not inspired, but I didn't want to.
There's no inspiration for me. I'm not going to win $1 million if I give the most.
But the people, I understand the people are charitable in mind, but they're fighting about how are we going to give this money away, because if they don't give away the most money, they're not going to win the $1 million.
Is this a show that goes on every week?
Yeah.
All right, here's my prediction. I've never watched the show. Oprah had like the #1 show. I say that show is going to tank really fast. Like all of a sudden you're going to stop reading about it, and the ratings are going to go way down.
I don't know, Howard.
No, I'm hoping.
That Extreme Home Makeover gets a huge audience every week, and I don't understand it. They watch people build a house every week for poor people.
Oprah's really lucky. Nobody rips off her ideas. Like Oprah's the queen of rip-offs.
Yeah.
Like she ripped off Phil Donahue's whole show, And now her shows are so whacked out. This idea that they'll do a big give, like Fox won't even rip that off,
Oh, no.
No.
I like the idea of it, but, you see the contestants fighting. If they're fighting, clearly there's more on their mind than helping people.
All right, Mike, thank you.
Thanks, Howard.
So Steve-O, the guy brings up a good point. Steve-O got arrested. So why did he get arrested?
Yes, why?
He was accused by his neighbor of harassing him. Now,
where does Steve-O live?
Apparently,
poor neighbors.
Well, let me tell you something. What's crazy about this story is Steve-O's he has videotape on himself all the time. I guess he's shooting something for MTV. So he's documented harassing his neighbor. It's all over the Internet. I've seen the tapes. I've got some here. I'm going to play them for you.
So the guy's got a good case?
Yeah, and the guy's a lawyer.
Steve-O's providing all of the evidence.
And Steve-O, I thought, lived in a house. He lives like in an apartment building.
Oh, my God.
And, he really is just hassling the shit out of this guy. I'll play you some of the tapes. If you go on the Internet and look up Steve-O, there literally are tons of videotapes.
So he didn't realize that this was going to get him into trouble.
I don't think he thinks about anything.
No, dude.
So here he is. He's talking into... all right, this is the start of it, all right? I watched most of this. There's so much tape, I couldn't even watch all of it. The Steve-O tapes were on PerezHilton.com, by the way. That's how I got them.
Okay.
I saw them on Perez Hilton. Should give that guy a plug. He's got a lot of good shit on there. As long as it ain't about me. Steve-O is in his apartment, and he's fucking nuts, and he's screaming into the camera, and he's talking about this and that, and rapping, and 50 Cent. He's all over the place. He's got ADD.
Right.
But then within 2 seconds, he gets crazy, and he starts to talk about his neighbor, and he goes over and he just starts pounding on his neighbor's door with this BB gun, like pounding with the butt of the BB gun.
Oh, my God.
All right, here you go. So here's tape 1. There's 4 tapes I'm going to play.
Big Kev, please tell Fifth that...
50 Cent.
I'm extremely overjoyed that he agreed to host Yo MTV Raps with Steve-O. What up now, bitches? Yeah, I'm rapping. Oh, my God. My shit is so hot right now. I'm in the zone. Deal with it. All right, I guess I'm just going to send this to 50, but first, see how it reminds me of my system? Oh, man, I am going to Oh, hey, cool, man.
Now he's in the hall.
All right, he's walked out of his apartment.
He's holding this gun, and he's at the front of his neighbor's door.
Hey, see that? I love money,
and he's got a bunch of money with him because he was wallpapering his walls with money. All right. So when Yo MTV Raps comes, they're going to see money all over his house. All right.
Hey, my neighbor, get out of this building.
So
what happened?
So he's banging on the neighbor's door. Then he runs back into his apartment. And now the neighbor's fucking crazy.
I would come out with a shotgun.
Well, wait till you hear the neighbor. He starts screaming. And then Steve-O will, listen to this. Steve-O will not come out of his doorway, to confront the guy. Right. And Steve starts spitting on his own door, saying, I just spit on you. But he's spitting on his own clothes.
He's spitting on the inside of his door.
He's got
Okay. That's what gangsters do. You know what? Shut up for a second, idiot. You're a lawyer? Vandalized my door. Paid for it, bitch. See what's up? Yeah. Hey, you know what? I just spit on you. I spit on you. Whoops.
All right, so I'm telling you, I've cut this down because there's so many tapes. But do you realize...
What time of the day is this?
I don't know. I can't tell because it's just dark. The police, you know, are going to have all this on tape. You know...
And they don't have to ask Steve-O for it. It's all over the Internet.
Yeah. All right, so here's some more. So then, I'm trying to remember which tape this one is. This is when the neighbor... all I know is Steve's in the hall. There are tons of people around. Like, Steve evidently has like a posse of people that are friends of his. And then there seems like the whole floor of the apartment building complex is on the floor with him. And they seem to be rooting for Steve-O in this battle. Meanwhile, this lawyer guy is like behind his door getting fucking pummeled. All right.
This is called how you rent your... Hold on. That's called how you rent your fifth apartment.
This motherfucker's gonna get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, you! Hey, now you're gone! Goodbye!
He's banging on the guy's door telling him he's gone.
He's gone. He is gone! Everybody want him out? Yeah!
I think they're going to string him up.
Goodbye, asshole!
The band again? He was trying to fuck.
I said grip up, bitch! Grip up! Look at my crew. Look at my crew. You guys my crew. Hey, what's up now, bitch? Here, say that again on camera, dude. Say that again on camera. Tell me what I did.
You knocked on my door when I came out. You ran in there like a little bitch. That's what you...
Yeah, you know what? Because I'm too fucking rich to fucking punch people. Ain't that right?
That's right.
You are a fucking lawyer. You fucking vandalized my fucking door. You are gone. Adios, amigo. Goodbye, faggot ass.
All right. So this is your neighbor. Can you imagine?
What did he do to Steve-O's door, and why?
Well, I guess after Steve-O was banging on his door, this guy came out and started banging on the door and fucked up Steve's door. But, like, in a way, can you blame the dude?
Right, he's got cause. Driven crazy.
I was in a nightmare like this. I told you, when I was in Hartford, I had no money, but I was on the radio and I was kind of famous, you know, for Hartford.
Yes.
And because I had no money, I lived in this, like, shithole fucking... I lived in, like, I think it's called... where did I live in Hartford? Bloomfield?
I think Bloomfield.
Bloomfield, it was called. Bloomfield, Connecticut. Not even in Hartford. I couldn't even afford Hartford.
That's a bad combination to be somewhat famous and broke.
Yeah, well, and then I was, like, in this apartment complex living next to these two guys and two girls. They lived together. I guess they were all boyfriend-girlfriend kind of situation. And, you know, it was a townhouse, and it wasn't bad, but... Like, you know, who had any money? I was making $12,000 a year. So they were poor, too.
Right.
And let's face it, they got a bug up their ass that I was on the radio and I had freedom of speech, and they decided they had freedom of speech, so they started banging on my walls, hanging signs on my door, and then they would, like, just in the middle of the night, blast music into my side of the... You know, because you could hear everything right through the walls.
Yeah, but why did they...
Because they wanted freedom of speech, too.
Really? That's what prompted that?
In other words, there was no arguing with them. I used to say to them, what is the problem? What am I doing to you? Hey, fuck you, man. You're on the radio saying what you want to say. We could say what we want.
Oh,
and I went, what are you saying? Then I had to call the cops. And
yeah.
Don't fucking ask.
Yeah, there's no dealing with that.
Yeah, so I got a job in Detroit. That's what ended the conflict. And I told you when I left, the housing was so shitty that literally the shit started backfloating out of the fucking toilets and stuff. And there was about a fucking half-foot of sewer water all over the entire apartment.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I split for Detroit and left my wife to handle it. What was I going to do?
You.
So now, Steve-O, you still into this?
Oh, God.
Okay.
I feel for the neighbor.
And not only that, the neighbor now has all this on tape if he's going to press charges against Steve. So here's Steve, goes out in the hall and starts drilling holes through the wall to the guy's apartment. Oh. Because he wants to see how the guy's decorating. Wait, watch.
Okay, now, I do believe that he's going to... What did he say? It's time for the meet and greet. It's a meet and greet.
He's doing a meet and greet.
The guy.
Well, Steve is. He's gonna drill a hole through the... He's pounding with a chisel through the wall. He's going right through the wall. He's in the hallway going through the hall, through the wall.
Yeah, we're dealing with plywood. We should wait till you get that pad. Yeah! Oh, I got through. You're through. You're a meet and greet.
What is it, J.D.?
He's not in the hallway. He's in his own apartment.
And he's drilling through the wall.
But he's in the hallway across.